Okay, so retirement.
Yeah.
Big word, right? I mean, it means different things to everyone,
Yeah.
but especially I think if you're over 60 here in the U.S.,
Mm.
there are tons of questions floating around.
It's
And
so
frankly, maybe some anxieties
yeah, for sure.
about this whole thing. So today we're going deep on an article, and it's called The Retirement Crisis.
Mm.
Is the American financial system failing older men over 60?
Oh.
Now, we're going to break down some of the tough stuff, definitely.
Right.
But also, there are some pretty surprising takeaways from this article that we want to get to as well.
Interesting.
Yeah, some stuff you might not expect, especially when it comes to things like hobbies and your social life.
Okay, that's interesting. I'm curious.
Yeah, how those all play into the retirement picture.
Yeah.
But first, let's sort of set the stage here. So this article, it really zeroes in on this idea of financial independence after 60.
Okay.
It's not just about managing your money once you're retired. It's about, do you even have enough to live comfortably without depending solely on that Social Security check? What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, that's a huge point. And honestly, it's something that I think a lot of people don't fully grasp until they're right on the cusp of retirement.
Yeah.
They have this vision of relaxing, enjoying life.
Right. Traveling.
Exactly. But the reality for so many is that it ends up being a time of really intense financial stress because let's face it, every day costs are going up.
Oh, yeah.
Healthcare is, especially in the US, it's just
Especially as you get older.
out of control. Prescriptions, the potential for long-term care. I mean,
Right.
It adds up so quickly and it puts incredible pressure on fixed incomes.
Speaking of pressure, and this is something we hear a lot about these days, the whole pension crisis.
Right.
Remember back in the day,
Oh, yeah.
pensions used to be like, that was it.
That was the golden ticket.
You were set, right?
Exactly. You worked, you contributed, and boom, you had a guaranteed income for life.
But this article, well, it paints a different picture.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not that simple anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of pension funds are really struggling.
Underfunded, right?
Exactly. They just don't have the money to pay out all the benefits they promise to people.
It's scary to think about.
It is. You work your whole life, contribute to this plan,
Yeah.
and then suddenly it might not be there when you need it most.
It's a big question mark hanging over a lot of folks' heads.
So
Bess.
absolutely. And it raises serious questions about, retirement security as a whole for everyone.
Yeah. Now, just shifting gears a little bit, because this is another, I think, major worry for people over 60,
Sure.
healthcare and how to pay for it. The article kind of wades into, it can feel like a jungle, right?
Absolutely.
All the different insurance options,
Yeah.
medical bills piling up.
Medicare, supplemental plans.
It's a lot to figure out, and on top of that, it's the cost, right?
Exactly. And the article really highlights this systemic issue we have, especially as baby boomers age.
Right, there's more demand.
Huge demand on the system.
Can the system handle it? That's the question.
Yeah, and it goes beyond just individual finances. It's about the sustainability of the entire healthcare system.
Big picture stuff. Okay, so we got to talk about the big one, Social Security.
Okay.
I mean, most of us, let's be real, we're relying on it, at least to some degree.
To some extent, yeah.
But the question is it actually enough to live on?
Well, the article doesn't shy away from this, right?
Yeah.
Social Security, it's facing some, pretty serious funding challenges.
It's a hot topic.
It is, and there's this huge debate, should it be reformed? How would that impact people who are already retired or about to retire?
Yeah, those are big questions. And
A good question.
it makes you wonder, right?
It does.
Can it really provide that safety net that it was designed to be?
For future generations especially, it's unclear.
Yeah, so we've talked about a lot of challenges that can feel kind of heavy.
Yeah.
But I do want to say, this article, it's not all doom and gloom. There's this other side to it. And it talks about, well, a lot of people over 60, they're still looking to invest.
Okay.
But how do you do that, closer to retirement? How much risk is okay?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
It is. And the article, it kind of suggests that as you get closer to retirement, maybe your investment strategy needs to shift a bit.
Makes sense.
Yeah, you don't have as much time to bounce back if the market takes a dive.
Right. You're not 25 anymore.
Exactly. Maybe being a little more conservative makes sense at that point.
Yeah, focus on preserving what you have, generating some steady income.
Now, here's something that I thought was really interesting and maybe even a little bit surprising.
Okay, what's that?
The article, it really stresses that, a good retirement, a fulfilling retirement, it's about way more than just money.
Right, it's about quality of life.
Exactly. It's about having a life that's, well, rich in experiences.
Yeah, and enjoyable.
Yeah, things that you enjoy doing. It talks about hobbies, travel, being part of a community. These things are so important.
They are essential, especially when you think about mental health.
Yeah,
Staying active, having those social connections,
makes a difference.
huge
Yeah,
difference.
it's not just about the money in the bank.
It's about having a reason to get out of bed in the morning, feeling connected, engaged.
So to kind of sum all this up, retirement planning, it's not simple.
No,
There's a lot to juggle.
it's multifaceted, for sure.
You got the financial stuff, the healthcare worries, and then this whole other side of, like, how do you actually live a good life once you get there?
Right, all of that comes into play.
And the article, it presents a bunch of different perspectives on this, right? Some people think we need big system changes
Yeah, systemic reforms.
to support seniors, while others, they're more like individual responsibility, figure it out yourself kind of thing.
Right, more of a market-driven approach.
It's complicated, no easy answers.
It is. There's no magic bullet.
And it got me thinking about something that, well, the article didn't really touch on directly.
Okay, what's that?
And that's the role of, family and community
Interesting.
in all of this. Like, how important is it to have a support system during retirement?
Mm-hmm. People you can rely on.
And I'm not just talking about financial help.
Right, emotional support, companionship.
Exactly, that sense of belonging.
That's huge.
Yeah, so as you're thinking about your own future, I think it's worth considering, how do you build those relationships?
Yeah, those connections are invaluable.
How do you create that community around you? Because it seems like that could make a big difference in how retirement actually plays out.
Absolutely. I think that's a great point to leave people with.
Yeah, something to think about.
Yeah, something to think about.
Yeah.